frozen inside. You sang a song that unraveled me. The melody was enough to rewrite my story. There's no place I would rather be than in the light of your sun. It changes everything. There's no face I would rather see. You pull me out from the dust and you redefine me.
We're live, guys. We're live. I hope you can hear me. If you can't, just let me know. Let me, let's pop you guys here. And let's pop this over here. We'll pop that back there. Woohoo! Can you all hear me? I hope you can. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Rightio. Well, happy Friday. Hope you're all good on this Friday the 13th in 2020. Touch wood, we've been okay today. Not that I'm superstitious or anything, but you never know. This year it's been so crazy. You never know. Yay! Okay. Okay, guys. Let me just pop you there. So, to all of those who came last week, thank you so much. I know it dragged on a bit and I was almost like falling asleep in my chair by the end of it. So I thought this time we start a little bit earlier. And then if we do run over, I do aim for 2 hours. That's my goal. But if we do run over a little bit, at least we're not going to be like, half falling asleep. So let's see if this time works a little better. The reason I'm doing it in the evenings is my days are pretty full and I try to plan. Well, I've been trying because I'm terrible. I've been trying to plan my days out a little bit more so I get what I need to get done. So having this in the evening just allows me time to finish up at around 5, make something to eat, chill out for a little bit, and then get on stream. If I did it in the day, I feel it would disrupt and I would lose a day that I could be working, if you know what I mean. So I think, but just starting that little bit earlier on a Friday might help all of us, might help us all. Good. So how are we all doing? It's nice to see some familiar faces again. John Zims, Adam, Sarah, Freddie's come back and he's made a shop. Woohoo! Lovely to see you guys. Colin, Seabucks is our mod, our only mod. Oh, I see you've got a little spanner, or is it a wrench next to your name, Seabucks? So it should be quite visible that you're the mod. Not that there's anybody doing anything they shouldn't be in the chat, but you know, never know. Never know. So guys, before I get into today, I'm gonna explain how we're gonna do this, because what I found happened last week and pretty much the very first stream was that I felt like I was behind in the chat all the time. I kept trying to go in order of when people submitted their shops, and as a result I was really behind in keeping up to date with the chat. If someone asked me a question, they might have to drop off and then I haven't given them an answer, and that's no good. So we're going to be using the chat today just for chat. I'm going to stay up to date. If you've got any questions, I'll try and answer them in real time. And what I've done is I went through the whole of last stream. I know, nearly 4 hours of it. I went through it and I picked out all the shops that I hadn't reviewed. And I made a list. So we have a list of about 15 shops that I didn't get to, which was much more than I anticipated. I thought, oh yeah, I probably missed about 8. No, double it. And I've made a list. So here we go. So if I just click on this, these are all the shops that were submitted last time that I'm going to try and get to. Well, we'll get through every single one of these shops tonight. So Adam, as you can see, you're on the list, so no stress. We'll get to you. And then as we go through, we'll tick them off. Unfortunately, I'm not going to look at any new submissions for shops on this stream. I'd like to just stay on top of the chat so we can have a proper chat, so I don't feel like I'm behind. You know what I mean, if that makes sense. How's the music? Is it too loud? I can put it down a bit. I don't have my headphones on today, so it sounds nice and soft to me, because the last 2 streams I've had my headphones in and all I can hear is music and barely my own voice. So I thought, let's scrap the headphones and we'll just have the music coming out my speakers. What about last week update? I'm not sure what you mean, Jawnsums. I'm not sure what you mean. Yes, the song is soft. Good. Good. I just didn't want it to be blaring in your ears. Because like I say, I would love to be able to play you my own awesome music, but I can't because it's all copyrighted, and God forbid you have anything copyrighted in regards to music on your streams. So I'm being safe and just playing copyright-free stuff. What else can we do? Right, guys. I understand that a lot of the shops I will be reviewing, they're not here, but I found last week a lot of the stuff that I had to say could apply to most of the shops. So if I'm not reviewing your particular shop, I guess try and take what I'm saying as advice for your own shops as well, because there are certain things you should be doing across the board. Not always necessary, like for example, branding your shop to make it look professional is not a requirement. You don't need to do that. It's just that extra thing you can do to make your shop stand out. So a lot of the stuff I do advise certain shops to do can be applied to most of them. So apologies if you're having to go through these different designer shops and it's not relevant to you, because in a way it will be. I'll try and make my advice relevant to everybody. Yes, I see what you mean now, Jawnsums. Yes, so this is basically my unfinished business from last week, because I do waffle on, and at times I need someone to pull me back and to say, you've been speaking about this one thing for 10 minutes. Can you stop and move on? So yes, hence why we're dragging on 1 stream to 2 streams. You did! Do you know, isn't it awesome getting that sale email? Every time I get an email, because for me, it took me so long to get to a point where I was making regular sales that even when I am now making regular sales, I still always think it's somehow going to end. There's going to be a day that comes that maybe I don't make a sale and I think, all right, it's over now. That's it. I'm done. It's not working anymore. So I'm always excited the next day when I get that sale email. It's a really weird thing, but we can't rely. It's not a given. We can do as much as we can to make that sale come quicker or easier, but it's not a guarantee. So it could end at any time. It shouldn't. Once you have a kind of a core set of designs that sell well regardless throughout the year, you can kind of start estimating your minimum amount you'll get paid every month. It gets to a point where you can say, well, for the last 10 months, I've never really made below, say, $50. So you can kind of use that as your minimum benchmark and say, well, anything above that 50 is a bonus. And then you might, a few months later, you might start seeing that your benchmark is now $70 minimum. And then, do you know what I mean? So that's the only way you can guarantee it. But other than that, it can go up and down. It really, really can. So I'm always excited to get those sales emails. It means something is still working. We're still, momentum is still happening. How long did it take me to get my first sale? I would say I put my first design on Redbubble in probably September 2018, and my first sale was probably the December. I think I was pretty lucky because Christmas was coming, and I can't even remember what my very first sale was. And I think that Christmas I made probably about $8. And then in January, I was really excited. I made about $12. And then things just went quiet. And then I sat down over the February and the March, and I really, really put all my energy into print on demand. I wasn't getting any client work. I was still very new as a freelancer, so I had all the time, and I was researching. I had a spreadsheet of loads. I found a website that gave loads of possible niches, right? Everything from animals to hobbies to, it was probably about 1,000 lines long. And I went through Redbubble and I searched every keyword. And I made a note on the spreadsheet on how many results I was finding. And I was ignoring ones that obviously had too many results for me to compete in. And I kind of lowered my search until it was a lot of work. It was too much work. I spent weeks doing this. But I came up with probably about 10 possible niches I could compete in. And I went for it and I designed for those niches, and I started to make regular sales, and I was really, really excited. But I didn't want to have to go through that all the time, because I would try and keep that spreadsheet up to date. Like every month I'd go in, do more searches on those keywords, but it was taking too much of my time. But it was a good starting point, because once I started making sales, it was easier to make more sales. I don't know how the algorithm works, but it's almost like I got a tick in the algorithm to show that this shop has sellable designs. So I started making sales on stuff I actually just liked making, as opposed to trying to find those underserved niches. So I'd say probably about 4 months to making my first 2 months to making my first proper sale. Then it went dead, and then so another 4 months to start seeing maybe one sale a week, and then slowly it kind of grew. I got lucky with a couple of trending designs early on as well, which boosted my store. My best-selling platform, well, funny enough, it used to be TeePublic. When I found out that Redbubble had bought TeePublic out, I thought it made sense to upload to TeePublic as well. And the audience actually, I was better suited to the TeePublic audience than the Redbubble one at the time. So TeePublic, I was making sometimes double than what I was making on Redbubble. And now it's flipped. TeePublic is like some nice pocket money, but something's happened on TeePublic that's just, I'm not seeing a lot of sales there. This month we've just got our payment through, and I made $66 last month. So it's dead for me. It really, really is dead. Redbubble is, way beyond. Amazon, it's probably about $150 a month. I haven't uploaded anything to Amazon in nearly a year. That's just stuff that I've had way back when that is still getting sales. I will get to the shops, guys. Let me just answer a few more questions, and then we'll get into it. Maria, could you add my shop to the list too, please? Last time I kept sending the link to my shop here and it wasn't showing up. Yeah, that's odd. I know if you send the actual link, I have to manually approve it, but I'm sure I approved every single one that came through. I'll be happy to do yours, Maria, if you tell me just your shop name. Oh, there we go. You've told me. Maria Makioka. Okay. Let me just write it down so I don't have to go up and down my chat. Maria Makioka, one word. Makioka. I have one specific question. When you upload the design, what patterns, dimensions that RB isn't suggesting is the best to use for the designs? So what I do is I upload, if you make a canvas and you make it 7,500 pixels by 7,500. That will fit every single design. That'll fit every canvas, if you will, from big to small. So that's the safe. Yeah, nothing smaller than that. Otherwise, you find what you're having to do is get a higher resolution for things like comforters or shower curtains, and I just like to put one thing up there and have that fit everything nice and crisp. Did we do Maria's shop next week? I do have a list that I was adding because I didn't want to duplicate and go through a shop that I'd already seen. So let me just have a look at the list that I did manage to get around to last week. It's not a full list though, unfortunately. I don't see Maria here, unfortunately. So I don't know if we did get around. Yeah, they definitely do bugs. I think. See, I know TeePublic used to, because they basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh God. Curate. They curate designs, and I realize they do that because there's been people that have brought up the fact that they can't find their designs when they search them on TeePublic. And I've seen copies of emails that were sent basically saying that, you know, it's a curated site. If they don't like the look of your design, they won't put it in they won't index it basically. You can still link to it and promote it through the link. But if someone searches, even if it's the exact keyword and you're the only other design, it will not show. So I realized they did that with individual designs, but I don't know if they do it for your entire shop. If they have, that would explain a lot. Is TeePublic promoting your designs? I think they do quite a lot of promotions. I follow them on Instagram, and they're quite active on Instagram in sharing designs. I don't think they do as much on Google SEO, but they do a lot of promotions. But again, it's got to be the right kind of design. Hi Jean, love your content, really valuable. Thank you. I would say it's always a good idea starting with what you're interested in, because for me, I'm interested in a lot of kind of nostalgic 90s aesthetic kind of stuff. That's the stuff I buy. So I know what I like, so I make stuff like that a lot of the time. Old school stuff. And a lot of retro designs are coming back, so that's been really good for me. It would depend on your interest, because if you're interested in something that's, but even if it's quite obscure, there's still an audience for it. So what you need to look at is using yourself as a target audience is really powerful, because if you would buy what you create, then you know that it's, but you've got to try and look at your own designs in a very non-biased, objective way as well. It depends on whether you're getting views. What I would do, if you haven't already, is link your shop to Google Analytics. If you're getting the views but not the sales, then you know that people are reaching your work, but maybe they don't like it enough to buy it. But if it's the other way around, if you're just not getting views, then you need to work on your promotions, your keywords, stuff like that, to get more eyes on your work. So it really depends on whether people are seeing your work or not. If they are not buying, you need to work on the design itself. If they're not, then nobody's seeing your work enough to buy it. So you need to work on getting people's eyes onto those designs. Bruick. That's a tricky one. Bruick. You can share your shops certainly, but I do have, if you have a look on the screen, these are the shops that we need to catch up on from last time. So I need to get through, I would like to get through all of these before I start looking at any other shops. Okay, Maria, I tell you what, you were so helpful when I went, because I went on my last stream, I went through the entire chat because you know I missed it, guys. I missed everything on the chat last time. I literally was just looking for shop names. And you were so helpful with other people. When I couldn't give people advice, you and Holly were helping a lot of people out. So I would be, as a thank you, let's look at your shop first, all right? And that's purely because you were so great in the last stream helping other people out. And I would not like to miss you. Let's go to, let's switch to that. Oh no, I changed my border, but I didn't change where my video was. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so I've got you written down. Maria Makioka. Let me just get my my chat up. Okay, Maria Makioka. I've actually logged into my account this time. Last time I didn't. So I can actually follow people. Look at that banner, Maria. I love it. Look at that. That's awesome. That looks really, really good. Especially your little never give up logo matches the colors of your feathers. That is sweet. I love that look. My lord, woman, you've been busy. Nearly 6,000 designs and you only started in June. That's craziness. I do presume that you were on another print-on-demand platform and you came over to Redbubble with a massive catalogue of designs. Or I can see already you doing a lot of, what do they call it? There's a word for it. You know exactly what I mean. Where you make one design, but you just have to replace one word or a date, and then you can shoot out loads, like birthday designs, like made in 1974. You can make one design really good, and then you can go in and change the year for. So that can make bulk designs very, very quickly if you go that route. And I can see from here. Can you guys hear me? I hope. Okay, good. You can hear me. I can see from here that that's part of your strategy, which can be a very lucrative one. One I see a lot of people on Amazon using. Look at these patterns. That's very, very, it's Aztec, but it looks a lot like the geometric African designs you get in Central Africa as well. You see some of the ways that they paint their huts with these colors, and it's so similar. That's an interesting niche, old Aztec designs. I love this look, Maria. I really do. The only thing that scares me, maybe scares not the right word, is I love creating patterns, but I don't know how to keyword patterns. If it's a specific one like the Aztec one, then obviously you can use old historic kind of Aztec-y type words in there that people who are into that will know and search for. But more abstract patterns, after I say abstract pattern, I'm out. I'm out of keywords and I don't know how to keyword for patterns. So I would love to create more, but I feel like right now would be a waste of my time because I don't know enough. But I hope the stream hasn't gone down. I think we're still live, but my internet is acting a little strange, guys, and I'm Sorry about this. Let me just refresh. We don't want that, do we? I mean, let's just pop you back there. Okay. I think we're okay. Sorry about that, guys. I have no idea. Right, let's have a look. So, I would be interested, Maria, in how many niches you're targeting right now. And which ones are successful for you, because I think I would love to have this amount of designs to use as a kind of basis to see, because sometimes I will touch into a niche and I'll make some designs, they don't sell, and I kind of come out of it and I start making for other niches, and I'm wondering if I just persevered a little more and added more designs in that niche, whether the pure volume makes up for, I don't know, it makes sales more likely, if you know what I mean. So I'd be interested. I mean, you're touching on, you've got the Aboriginal stuff, the Aztec stuff, patterns in general. We've got a few typography designs. Hitting the retro market as well. I love it. I mean, all your designs are optimized really, really well. The colors are great. You've got a good eye. Let's take a look at some of your tags. I'd be interested to see the Aztec ones, if we can find them again, but they've disappeared. Let's have a look at one of your pets. Actually, we'll leave it on most relevant, because most relevant is interesting. Most relevant will show you not designs that have been selling. It could show designs that have been selling, but it also shows what people have actually been viewing. So let's take a look at this one in that case. Australian Aboriginal art mask. Australian Aboriginal art for more designs. Give some more in there, Maria. Go to town. Give another couple of sentences. I would leave for more designs like this one at the bottom. But when you say Australian Aboriginal art, give a little bit more. Explain the piece a little bit more in your description. Maybe the colors you used and the fact that it's circular, that kind of stuff. Any other relevant keywords you can churn in there and make it part of a sentence. Because as I mentioned last week, remember, the keywords in your description is what makes people find your stuff on Google search or other search engines. So it's really important. Explain your art as if you're explaining it to a blind person that can't physically see what's in front of them. You're trying to tell them what you've created. So add as many descriptive keywords in your description as possible so it can rank in Google search. I did a video ages ago where I searched, as an experiment, I searched for a mechanic shirt. And the very first design that came up was a Redbubble search result. And when I clicked on it in Redbubble and did the exact same search in Redbubble, that design was like 20 pages deep, but it was the very first design on Google. And it was purely because my search term matched what was in his description. So make sure, don't sell yourself short. Write a good description. That'll make you rank external to Redbubble. Let's have a look at your tags. Aboriginal art, Australian, Indigenous art. You're pretty thorough. Can't fault your keywording at all. Awesome. Maria, do you know what? I feel absolutely useless because I can't tell you any way to make your shop better besides writing full descriptions on your work. I know that's a big ask. You've got a lot of designs. Maybe for now, the ones that you're really trying to push and the designs that have already started selling, optimize those with better descriptions as well as you can. Especially now, we're in the lead up to Christmas. This is when most of the time we should, I'm not going to promise this to anyone, but we should be seeing 3 times our normally monthly salary in our print on demand. So we need to try and do all the work now to make Christmas really, really good for us. And remember, it doesn't stop with Christmas. I often make really good sales in January as well. I don't know why. Are people spending their Christmas money, or maybe Redbubble have better sales in January? I don't know. But get these optimized now. Whatever you want to push for Christmas, guys, get those optimized now. Push them, promote them, however you want to do it. But try and have a good Christmas. We all deserve a better Christmas, guys. It's been such a crappy ass year. We deserve to have, you know, a little bit of a Christmas present to ourselves and getting some extra sales. Awesome, Maria. I love it. I really, really do. Before I leave you, I'm going to follow you. If you have any specific questions, just pop me a bubble mail or a message on Instagram, however you best like to communicate, and I will always try and help out. Rightio, guys, we're going to go back to our scheduled programming. Let's just go back here. We've got nobody ticked off yet, but that's okay. We're going to start with Shirts by Design. To everybody sharing their shops, I just want to make it clear. I know people are dropping in and out. To anyone sharing their shops now, I probably won't get around to having a look at your shops this evening. The shop names on my screen are what we're going to be looking at first. And if we have time at the end, I will start. Seabucks, our lovely mod, has been making a list of those who shared their shops, but I can't promise anything, guys. So if you do share your shops, feel free to. There's always people in the chat that are really, really helpful and like to pop in as well and follow and favorite work as well. So share your shops if you want to, but I probably won't be able to get to the vast majority of any new shops being shared today. But yeah, if you have long-term plans on your shop, Maria, you're definitely on the right track. You just keep going, girl. Hello, teacher. Hello, dear. Lovely to see you again. I'm not sure what you sent me about Pinterest, but if you can let me know, I'll try and answer as best I can. I feel you, Andrew. I've heard a few stories of TeePublic closing accounts with no reason. I think I've been on the other side of that, and I felt really bad because I had a trending design June last year, and people were copying it left, right, and center. I didn't realize it for a long time until my sales started dipping, and I was like, why are they dipping? And I noticed so many people had copied it that was probably why, and marked it lower. So I reported a few to Redbubble. They came back to me and said, you know, we've asked the artist to take it down. We've given them a warning. They have the right to appeal, blah de blah. And that was that. And when I checked the shop again, it was still open, but my design was obviously taken down. I reported a couple of designs to TeePublic, probably in the beginning of this year. And I had an email from them within 48 hours, and they said they'd basically taken the account down. And I felt terrible because some of these shops were well-established shops, you know, and they had taken one of my designs. I didn't know whether maybe they were on, it was like 3 strikes, you're out, or whether one case of infringement on TeePublic means they take your shop down. But I kind of felt bad because I thought, but I had to report it. I mean, it was getting crazy. And I didn't even report all the shops, just the ones that I found. And then after a while, I found more and I didn't bother. And I thought, well, the trend is gone. I don't know if they'll even make sales. So I'm not even on top of it as I should be. But what I learned is TeePublic, if someone says you've taken their design, they will, not that I'm saying you did, Andrew, but they take no prisoners. They will shut you down straight away. Hi, Session. Lovely to see you. I'm glad you like my niches video, Adam. It's been a while making that one, but I felt I finally had something to say about how to find niches. Johnsons, I found my ratio of views to sales is 10%, and that's pretty consistent, but I don't know if that's the case for everyone. If you do have your analytics, just have a look and you can work out. I've got recent videos where I'm connecting my new Redbubble shop to Google Analytics, and I show you how you can check the ratio of views to sales, and I found mine was pretty consistently 10%. So for every 10 views, I got 1 sale. So I don't know if that's normal, average, if it's bad or good, but it was really consistent. Every design I checked, it was pretty strange. Scalable designs. Thank you, Bugs. That's what I was thinking. Maria, you have scalable designs. I'm sure you already knew that. I just couldn't think of the bloody word. Don't worry, old hag. My shop is still a mess. I've got stuff there that's been there since I started and it's terrible and I really need to clear it out. Don't you worry about that. Check your WhatsApp. Ooh. What have we got? Oh, check Cbucks has been giving me... Okay, so Cbucks has given me a list, guys, of those that I didn't... that have new requests to review shops. So after we've done this list, we'll go through those 6 if I have time. But again, yes, no promises. No promises. No, Hamo, don't write an article for your description. I would say 3 sentences, but try and get as many keywords that you want to rank for in those sentences. So if, say, it's I don't know enough about mechanics to say this correctly, but if you are trying to target mechanics as a job, try and get as many things that you think a mechanic might search for when looking for a design, or someone who knows a mechanic and they're trying to buy for would search for naturally as a sentence. So, and describe the design. So if it's typography, say it's typography, because some people might search for typography, some people might search for text. So you try and use both keywords within as well. The color, the art style, try and describe the design as best you can within about 3 sentences. Don't write for days. That's odd, Andrew. Maybe try, I know it might not work, but maybe try call them out publicly on either Instagram or Twitter and say at TeePublic, you know, what's the deal? You closed my shop. Sometimes they tend to respond more when other people can see that you're calling them out. So try that. But if they're not responding to emails, I think it's a load of bollocks, really. Just tell us why, you know. But if they're all your own work, it might even be something simple like a tag. There's some really weird tags that get flagged. Not even trademark phrases sometimes. Another sale! Check you guys out! I've got a bubble mail someone sent me, but no sales. So yeah, nice on you. Okay, guys, let's get into this, right? We're not going to take too long. We're going to try and get through these as quickly as possible without rushing. So we'll flick back to the screen and we're going to go to... Oh, you see, I can't see my list when that's up. Let me just put you back here. So shirts by design, all one word. Shirts by Design. Shirts by Design. And guys, feel free to pitch in if you've got any advice for this user. Pitch in if you feel I've missed something. Okay, so we have a banner. Nice. Good contrast between the white text and the background. Nice and simple. Early days, September, 48 designs. Featured collections. I didn't really mention this last time, and this is really cool. I watched, there's a guy who does print-on-demand content. I can't for the life of me remember his channel name. Is it Ryan something? Ryan? His videos can be quite interesting, and he, funnily enough, about a week ago, he did a shop review, Redbubble shop review video that I actually watched today. And he said, well, he was reviewing some shops, and there's a lot of them that have their featured collection, they feature their bestsellers. And it actually makes the shop look pretty cool. All seasonal. So for instance, Shirts by Design has gone with the Christmas theme for their featured collection. Stuff that you're trying to push now that may be relevant now is a good idea to have up here. So have a think about that. Okay, so we've got a lot of kind of generic text designs, which aren't bad, but I think when it comes to text designs, there needs to be something that it either needs to be completely unique, you haven't seen it before, it's funny, it's something that you can market correctly, especially if it's just plain text like this. You know, it's a good concept. She's my sweet potato. I am. It's cute. But I think it needs a little bit more, maybe a better font. We've got a kind of cursive kind of handwritten font, but it's in capitals, which always makes it look a little funky. And then we've got lowercase for the potato. So just a little bit more better design for that kind of thing. Unless you can market it well, it's going to get lost. Like something like that. I mean, that's a phrase that, you know, will always be around, never give up. But make sure you're giving it something extra, because you basically want to compel someone to buy. And that's the main thing. We're trying to compel people to buy our stuff. And we can do that through passions, which is, you know, hitting people where it cares. So if they're really passionate about a thing, they come across your design, it speaks to them in every way. They're like, I have to have that thing. We've all had that feeling when we've been, you know, window shopping or looking for stuff online. You see something and you just have to have it. Most of the time when you've got no money, how many times when you have money to spend and you're looking, you never find something? But you have the money, you are there, you're willing to spend, nothing's catching your eye. Nothing is worth the money to buy. So you've got to, it's all about getting someone into that mindset where they have to buy your thing over everything else. And that's why it's so important when you are creating for niches and stuff like that, that you can not only compete in it, but that you can best, for the most part, try and best everybody else in that thing, or bring something new to the table that's different. So, you know, a phrase like never give up, there's probably thousands and thousands across the internet, some kind of text design with the same message. What would compel someone to buy this over everything else? That's what you've got to think about every time you put a design out. See, this works better. Journey into the unknown, but it's a nice design over a really, really rustic landscape. It works much better. So always try and think, do people want to buy this? Why would they want to buy this? Is it worth it for them? And if your answer is no, then think, well, how can I improve this? So I'd say it's not a bad shop, especially for a very new one. But you know, when you're going into niches like gaming, animals, especially pugs, are massively popular. Christmas, you've got to be able to compete. You've got to have something to enable you to compete with what's already on Redbubble and selling really, really well. So you're already on the back foot because your design's going to rank lower. So you've got to somehow, even though your design is down here, make it worth buying than something on the front page, if that makes sense. Right, so let's pop back to here and let's tick good old Shirts by Design off, because we're done. I like this better. I can actually keep semi in touch with what's happening in the chat. Hey mum. My mum's always comes to say hello. Hey mums. Yeah, she wasn't sure, Seabucks, if you were who you were. She's like, she texts me that is Seabucks Jen? I was like, yeah. Okay, rightio. Next store, guys. Kids say. Kids say. Oh, before I go there, let me just follow Shirts by Design. And let's go there and let's put you guys back on there. I hope it's not just one design. Phew. Okay. Kids say, number one, get a banner up there. Even if it's literally plain red or one of the colors from your logo across here that somehow meshes in with your logo. For now, get one up. I know you're very, very new. 80 designs, September this year. Okay, so I think, guys, we found our very first niche store. A lot of the shops we've seen have had, been playing around with multiple niches, general stores for the most part with some niches, but this looks like a purely kids store, and you can see it from the word go. I mean, it's just, that's awesome. Lovely colors. Kindergarten, school, autism based stuff. Awesome. I love it. I think that's a really, really good start, and I think it looks like a proper branded store. The only thing letting you down right now is a nice banner to tie it all together. And I would get a featured collection up here as well. Whatever you want to push over Christmas, maybe like this kind of stuff. Get some featured designs up there as well as a nice banner, and this shop will be looking awesome. I love it. Let's have a look at some of the so we've got some birthday related stuff. We'll have a look at just a random design for some descriptions and tags and that good stuff. Right, so we've got no description. We've got no description and very few tags. I don't know if you're here. We don't have a name, do we? Kids say, I'm not sure if you're here. I'm going to follow you. But you need to get some descriptions. You really do. I'll send you a little bubble mail, because you've got a nice little new store on the go here. It's really, really good, but you need to promote these better. And not writing proper descriptions, you're just chewing your own leg off. So you need to remedy that. And we need to get some more tags here. We need to make sure that the spelling is the correct spelling, or, some people when they're searching might not use the correct spelling. So hit both. Common spelling mistake and the correct spelling. Get some more tags in here, definitely. We'll try and go for at least 15 relevance. Anything else that's relevant on top of that is absolutely fine. As long as you're not going into irrelevant tag territory, which might hurt you in the algorithm overall. Get some more tags. I'm presuming, I mean, let's have a look at one more just so we can, I mean, these are cute little designs, but nobody's going to find them. Nobody's going to find them. You have to be able to be found. No description again. A little bit more keywords. Those are a little bit better. Get those descriptions done, guys. It's not a waste of time. You've done all of this work already. Don't let yourself down at the final hurdle. Okay, let's... I hope that's helping, guys. Regardless, like I say, if this is not your shop, a lot of my... I can't even speak. A lot of my advice should be relevant regardless. So I hope it's helping. Okay. How do you know what's a niche and what's big? Jaden, I'm not sure if I misunderstand, but a niche is basically any, think of them as categories. So if you decide, if you're really into, say, dance music, you're really into camping, those are niches. Obviously you can drill deeper down into each of those niches, but think of niches as the category of your design. I'd say a big niche is anything over 3,000. I'd say 1,000 to 3,000, you can potentially compete if you do it correctly. But really, to hit the sweet spot, if you're not relying on any promoting, if you're not relying on any, if you don't want to basically be hidden under loads of results, I would say you want to hit below 1,000. Sweet spot, if you find a niche that's below 300, go for it. But remember, it's not always going to be profitable. So I'd say a big niche is anything above 5,000, and anything below, I'd say between 3,000 to 5,000. Risky to get involved in, but still very possible, especially if you're bringing something new to the table. But if you really want to, you know, be able to compete, below 500 is where you want to hit. Yeah, Maria, cat lovers. I mean, I've made some cat designs. You know I love cats. Let me just let my kitty out. Bear with me. You want to go out for me? Come on. Come on. He doesn't even want to go out. I love cats, and I would love to create cat designs till the cows come home, but I cannot compete. I cannot compete in that niche. It's too big. I don't really have anything that I've really thought of that I can differentiate within that niche. So sometimes, even though you're really passionate about something, you've got to say, well, it's too big for me. Kids say is me. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Bugs. I hope that was useful. I really, really do. When I was saving the shop's names, I wasn't actually saving the names of the people who shared the shop, so I'm just not sure, unless your shop name is the same as your YouTube name, whether you're the same person. Awesome. I hope that was helpful. I think you're on a winner with regards to where you are and your niche. You just need to be able to make sure people can see your stuff. Yes, exactly, Marie. You can do cross niches. So yes, like hitting a bigger niche with a smaller niche, and then you've created a new niche that might be much less served than the bigger overall niche, like crossing cats and coffee and stuff like that. Okay, we on to the next one, guys. We're getting there. Let me move you guys back here, and we're gonna go to Trini slang. Oh, let me just follow you, Bugs. Trini slang. Okay. Joined February 2020. Nice. Oh, nice. So we've got a really cool hand lettering / graffiti typography look. I love that. I do. See, this is a good example of a shop that's just doing text designs, but in a very unique way, as opposed to, you know, just designs like this. There's some cool little simple text effects that can be really what's the word I'm looking for, that can make you kind of pay attention to, as opposed to just scrolling through loads of these kind of really it makes you feel like you've seen this loads of times before. That catches your eye that little bit more. I love these designs. I haven't seen anything like these. You know, you feel like you've seen loads of these types of things, you know, the classic definition, which do really well if you can find a relevant phrase and its definition. Those can do really well. But these, I think you're onto something here. It's just about how to market them. I'm not sure if these are... it's Trinidad slang. I mean, that's an unusual niche in itself, right? How many designs have we got? 61. I was going to say, I just thought it was just random text, but, you know, you've got a proper niche in there. So I think, I mean, let's have a look. I mean, these work so well as a sticker, but you can see it working equally well on a shirt. So I think it's a very versatile design. And this kind of paint splatter thing, I love it. I mean, that just works. That works. I mean, even as a cushion. Nice tag. See if we can add a few more in here. Remember, when you're tagging, especially if it's a text design, remember to add the actual text that's in your design. It might seem obvious, and yes, you've got it in your title, but put it in your tags as well. Nice description. Perfect. I would add to that, and I would say either hand lettering, text design, or typography design. It's very reminiscent of graffiti art as well, so I would add somehow into your keywording, into your description. Maybe the art style as well, like paint splatter or tie-dye, something like that. I think this is awesome. I'm going to give that a little love because I do love it. I don't know if you're here. Why? Oh, okay. I get it. That's awesome. I do love that. See, this is the kind of, I feel right now looking at stuff like this, I feel compelled to buy, even though I'm not even the target audience now. I know nothing about Trinidad slang, but the design is enough for me to want to buy it. And I think that's a really important thing that a lot of people forget. I think when we're like kind of looking for trends and looking for stuff that might sell well, that's all well and good, but are you hitting people where they feel compelled to buy? I love that, guys. That's awesome. I would even see that banner, and that works as it is, but I would see like if you could superimpose one of these, or maybe a few of them, have like a brick wall and make it look like graffiti art. There's a very simple process to do that in Photoshop, where you can just take your vector like this, get a stock image of like a brick wall, and then put this on top of the brick wall, but you can make the texture of the brick come through so it looks like it was painted on the wall. It's so simple to do, and it can look really, really cool. So make it look kind of street art kind of thing. I think that would work, but there's nothing wrong with that banner as it is. Awesome. I love it. I love seeing this stuff, especially since, you know, when I'm looking on Redbubble and you're doing your research or whatever it is, you feel like you're seeing the same stuff over and over again. And I get it. You know, you're seeing the relevant stuff that's selling. Oh, let me put you back there. But it's nice to see stuff that's kind of hiding in the background. Please keep going, Trinidad slang. I love it. I love those. Okay, let's switch back to here, and we can tick off Trini slang. Boom. Oh, we'll have a little drink break. We got some IPA from Lidl. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, just make sure the resolution is what they suggested is, old hag. Sorry, I feel terrible calling just a random person old hag. All right. Let me just make sure I follow. Yeah, I followed him. I love these. I do. Awesome. No problem, Maths. I'm here. You can always, I think you can live rewind a stream on YouTube as well, which is handy. I feel like an old hag. I'm getting there. I don't know where time is going these days, guys. But it's going. Another year almost done. Right, Zua 13. Let's keep this going, guys. Give me a quick second, guys. I'll literally be about 30 seconds. I'll be back very soon. Okay, I'm back. Told you I'd be quick. Maths. Shirts by Design was the second shop I reviewed tonight, so you can go backwards in the stream. Probably look about 20 minutes from the start, or maybe a little bit more. But I had some things to say, so have a look back. But yeah, if anybody else has any comments for Maths, let them know. I know, but it's also so freeing. No demands to fit into a sugar flour cotton candy princess mold. I'm just me. I love it, actually. Don't you think? I know I'm going completely off topic here, but don't you think girls, especially younger girls, are put under so much pressure these days? And I know girls always do to look a certain way, but these days it seems even just if you're a little bit different, I would, yeah, me being a tomboy growing up, yeah, these days it's, yeah, I don't know. I feel for young girls who feel that they have to cake themselves in makeup when they're like 14 years old. It's just, it breaks my heart because I know a lot of girls feel they probably have to but don't like to have to do that. Anyway, we're going on to, that's just me. So all power to you, old hag. You do you. I love it. Okay, hang on. Yeah, right. I wish girls had more varied older women that are role models that can show them they don't have to try and conform into some weird kind of botoxed and bloated beauty queen. Anywho, onward. Maybe I'm just getting old. I'm an old hag. I'm getting there. We're nearly 40, guys. We're nearly 40. Yeah, I tried to change my name on Redbubble because when I started, I had no, concepts of a brand or anything. I just kind of made a name and now I'm stuck with it. Unfortunately, there's no way to change it. There is a way on TeePublic you can change you can change your screen name, but the URL will always be your old original name. I don't know why it's so difficult to. Maybe it's got something to do with the algorithm and you've already been listed in search under your name, and to change your name it would undo all. I don't know. There must be a reason. It's like no platforms, print on demand platforms, is it easy or even possible to change your name. Exactly, old hag. You go out once being famous with no makeup and you just ripped a new one. But, men have their own different types of pressures, I guess. But, yeah. It makes me sad. It just makes me feel for young girls. Okay. We're moving on. We're on to Zua 13. Let me just... Zua, again. Zua, you're from Bloemfontein, and I hope you're here, my fellow South African. From Bloem. Wow, okay, I'm not sure when you started, but 1,620 designs, not bad. Remember, and I hate this, but print on demand is a numbers game, which is hard as a designer because I spend a long time on my designs, hence why I'm not even at 300 after 2 years. And I know it's about adding more, but sometimes, the creative juices aren't flowing and I can't add more. So, and I don't want to just add for the sake of adding, but I know I have to try playing the numbers game as well. So it's a frustrating balance. Okay, let's have a look. So we got a lot of text designs. We've got some kind of funny, whimsical. We're hitting a lot of different niches. I would call this a general store at this stage. Yeah, I would say this is a store that is trying to see what sticks, and then maybe they'll kind of focus up a little more. But at the moment it's very general, and there's not much of anything tying the shop together. And even though that's not a necessity, it's something as a designer I like to see, because I like to have something tying a shop together, whether it's the art style or color, or even if you use the same text for every design, something that looks like a branded store, whereas this is very, very mixed, which again is not a bad thing, guys. A lot of people start out making general stuff until they can kind of figure out what they are and what they want to promote and what they want to design, and then they kind of focus down. Or I know a lot of people who have a general store where that's their playground, they'll do whatever they want, and then as niches become popular, they create secondary stores and focus down on just those niches. I've certainly heard that being done numerous times. So I'm not sure what your kind of plan is here, but I would say simple text designs. Everyone knows Chestify, you know, the Redbubble store that he uses the same text, I presume it's a he, the same font for every design, and it's literally a couple of words. I can't even think of, one's not coming to mind, but I'm sure you know exactly who I mean. We don't have the luxury coming into print on demand, especially Redbubble now, to pull that off. He's been on Redbubble since the dawn of time. He's made regular sales, and as a result, his new stuff is obviously going to sell as well. So coming in with very, very simple text designs, unless they're extremely unique, it's hard to compete. You're going to find it really, really hard to compete. So have a think about whether this kind of stuff is going to get you anywhere in the long run. It's difficult, guys. You've got to be able to compete. Bring something new to the table, especially when you're hitting big niches. You've got to have something. And even hitting a big niche with something unique, there's no guarantee unless you can properly promote and get eyes on your work, and eyes turns into sales, hopefully. Okay, so let's... You want to go out, boy? You want to go out, monster? Okay, let's have a look. Cool text design. Get this design by clicking this link. That's not very helpful at all. I would double up the title. Say cool text design. Maybe have quotations. Normal people scare me. Black on white. There's not much you can go to describe this because it's very minimal. But yes, that's an indicator. That's a selling point itself. Minimal typography design. That needs complete rehaul, that description. Okay, I get it. I get it. American Horror Story themed. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. I get where you're coming from now. I get why the text is a little bit funky from the text in American Horror Story. I got you. Be careful. It's not an approved fan art program, so it's always risky doing this kind of stuff. But I leave that discretion to you guys. I'm not going to tell you what to do or not to do. It's just something you need to keep in mind. I'm going to... Seabucks, could you perhaps turn the heating off? I'm roasting in here. Thank you. I do appreciate it. So yes, it's up to you guys. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But you got to be able to compete. So I'd be interested to see, just for a full story of what's going on in the store, what kind of things are selling. But yeah, it's very general now. Like I said, it's fine until you figure out what's going to work for you and then go to town on that one thing. Okay. I think we're going through these a little. We're getting through them, guys. Zua. Boom. Another tick. Okay. Okay. We're getting there, guys. Nothing wrong with being 40, Yusuf. Nothing wrong at all. That's what I have to keep telling myself, because we're getting there. Old hag, I love to hear that. I love to hear that. I'd like to think that in kind of 15 years time, I'm doing something completely different that's new and scary, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to do it. They say, as an aside, guys, they say that you can master anything in 7 years. And I think that's really interesting, because a lot of people, especially if you have a very specific type of job like a doctor, you know, you'll go to school, you'll graduate, become a junior doctor, become a proper doctor, and that's you. That's your career for the rest of your life. And I don't know whether we're doing ourselves a disservice, because after a while, people seem to think that they stop learning after a while, and that's not the case. And I wonder how much more we could achieve if we tried things without the fear of failure so often. And when you get really good at a thing, not get rid of it, but start something new from scratch where you're a complete noob and you can build yourself up to being skilled in that thing too. So big up to you, old hag. You keep doing you. That's correct, Maria. Yeah, I think, yeah. So if you have, like, say 10 stores, you'd only be able to upload 60 designs per day over those 10 stores. You're completely correct. Hey, Starcraft. Just so you know, we're still working our way through these on screen, and only after I've done these will I take any new submissions in for shop reviews. Just so you know. Thank you, Seabucks. You're a star. Feedback loop and echo. Is anybody else having any problems with the audio? I hope not. I kind of hope it's just you, be nice, not in a horrible way. If anybody else is having audio problems, please let me know. It does, old hag. I think when you're young, you can retain information much quicker. Do you know what they say? Middle school age, so what, 10 till 12? Your brain is like the ripest it'll ever be, and anything you learn when you're in middle school will stay with you for the rest of your life. And I totally get that. Because I learned to tap dance when I was 9, and I can still do it now, even though I haven't done it for years and years and years. It's there forever. So that is your optimal time. Everything after that just takes that little bit longer to sink in. But it does, and that's the thing. Audio too low? No? Okay, I boosted a tiny bit, but apparently it's fine. I'm in my second month, but still getting less than 10 visits per day. I would say for your second month and you're at least getting 10 visitors a day, I think that's pretty good, Yusuf. Don't sell yourself short. And guys, stop comparing yourself to others. If you found, even if you're only making like a sale every couple of months, but you found something that's working for you and you can see that growth, whether that's in the form of more visitors or more sales, you do you. It's so easy to compare ourselves and be like, well, my designs are better than them, why not this and that? It's no, run your own race. And I'd say 10 visits per day on a new store, you're doing something right, for sure. Keep building on that. I know, Maria, and your store has the best name, Huge Doodles. I love it. And you are at the bottom, unfortunately. We'll get there, don't you worry. We'll get there. Old hag, I think you're my favorite. I love that. It's so true. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to the next one. How are we doing for time? 9:30. Okay. JR360. I think Jay is in the chat. If I remember correctly, anyway. Okay. Let's go back to... There we go. Right, Jay. You've got a banner. It's okay. It's okay. I would try and maybe have something that represented your brand and your shop a little better. But I'm not sure what your shop is all about, so I will not say anything else until we've had a look. Okay. So I guess the colors kind of do somehow correlate. Very bright. We've got a lot of use of imagery, and what I will say, guys, is I mentioned this last time as well. When you are using photography for any of your designs, like here, it works great. The photo is the full size of the canvas, whereas when we look at here, we can see that it doesn't quite meet the edge of this pencil case, or laptop sleeve, should I say. Same with here, we've got, yes, it's colored in similar colors to the middle, but it kind of still looks stuck on. Comforter, you can get away with a little bit more, having this white kind of background, so I'm not going to say anything about that. Here we got the same problem. All of this white space, we don't want this. We don't want this, guys. Same story here. We want to make sure we're at least finding images, stock images that are okay to use, that are the right resolution to the product we're enabling. And if it's not, I would say disable it altogether as opposed to it looking like this. I really would. These work better, just simple gradients. But what I would say again is it's very hard to market this kind of stuff because it's a sunset gradient. But what else can you possibly use for keywords? It becomes hard to compete because you can't kind of wangle yourself into a niche because it's a sunset. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, we've got the similar problem here. So I would say make sure that your resolutions to your products are correct. We don't want this white space below the shower curtain. We don't want it here on the tapestry. We want that full tapestry to be all of those lovely colors. We want that whole thing to be covered. But we don't want to stretch it so it pixelates. So you've got to always be careful when you're using stock photography. It's an ongoing issue. Get those sorted. See how much better that looks when it just covers the canvas. Okay, so I like the colors. I'm just a sucker for neon, kind of bright pinks and purples anyway. So I'll always be drawn to those types of designs. They don't work very well on apparel because you've just got this very, very harsh block like here. Think about who you're marketing to and if they would buy something like that. You've got to be stricter with yourself and more kind of I don't mean give yourself a hard time, but you do have to analyze your work. And if you're making stuff for the sake of making stuff, you've got to be able to market it correctly, because otherwise you're just uploading for the sake of uploading with no clear plan. But I would say with 66 designs, you're probably super new into print on demand. Do you have to bang my door open every time, boy? And I would say, yes, as I've said to everybody else, this is the time to experiment. But one thing you can change now are these unoptimized designs. Get those sorted and have a think about how the direction you want to take your store in the future. So you can you want to be able to compete, and that's what I'll keep coming back to. Okay, so let's go back to here and boom, Jay is done. Oh yes, I did. I do. I have Samasa twice. Thanks, Maria. No, I didn't see that. It's probably because I was working my way through the chat and I was just doing it in order and I didn't twig. Okay, cool. All right, old hag. It was lovely to see you. And we'll see you soon, hopefully. I'll be nice. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Okay, right. We're moving on, guys. We're moving on. So we're on to Samasa. Oh, I think I've been forgetting to follow everyone. Let me just follow Jay. And Samasa 66 joined June 2020. Nice. I like the banner. I do like the banner. 62 designs. All right. So we've got some IT based stuff. We've got some I love it. I do. But I'm the target audience, so of course I'll love all of the cat stuff. Okay, so we've got some very, very basic text designs. I mean, they might be niches I have or some popular culture reference that I have no idea of. Okay, so we got some more IT-based stuff. Okay. George Floyd. Okay, so I see a fledgling shop that's still trying stuff out. And I would say, as a fledgling shop, this looks better than my fledgling shop looked, for sure, because you have some kind of focus, whereas I didn't. So I'd say keep going. From what I can see, your designs are well optimized. I always have this problem with baby grows as well. It's obviously a white design, and I don't know if you can change the background color of the baby grows, so they always look like that, which looks terrible. But for the most part, I can see that everything, we've got, full prints over the shower curtain. Everything is optimized. But nothing's really standing out to me. But it might be because I don't know enough about certain niches that are being shown. So my only advice to you would be, let's just give you a follow. Okay, so your focus is modern and minimalist. I'd say go with that. Run with that. If that's what you enjoy, subtle modern minimalist. Use that as your benchmark for everything that you do. But at the same time, minimalism is a difficult one because you don't want it to be so minimal that it's a design that anybody could replicate. And for example, stuff like this, you know, not saying that that might not be a niche that would sell well, but just using it as an example. But yeah, keep uploading, keep trying different things, because I can see a lot of different ideas going on here. You're very new as yet, so I'm not sure what else I can say besides try and market your stuff in a way that it can at least reach people's eyes. Like I've said before, you want to make sure you can compete in all these various niches. As much as I love this kitty cat, I've got a strong suspicion that design is going to get lost amongst all the other funny cat stuff. So think about that. You want to get eyes on your work. How can you do that? Try and go for underserved niches, and if you can't, experiment, which I can see you doing. So keep going, keep uploading. Da, da, da. Boom. Adam Pro, I hope you're still here. I hope you're still here. You can change the baby onesie under t-shirts. There's a hidden option. Oh yes, I think you're right. Not seeing it in front of me, I can't. Yeah, I think you might be right, Bugs. Did I follow the shop? Yeah, I did. So we're on to Adam. Adam Pro 1. Adam Pro 1. What is it, boy? What is it, monkey? Adam has been on the move. So he's joined February 2020 with 2,200 designs. Design is a solution to a problem. Art is a question to a problem. Nice. I like it. And that, before I've even seen, it kind of makes me think that we're looking at a mainly text-based designs shop. But not wholly, no. Okay, let me just do this first. I'm just going to follow before. I feel like I've forgotten a few. There's a lot of the retro theme stuff, which we know always sells well, but we're coming into it kind of knowing it's a good selling niche. So can we compete? That's the big question. So we got some text designs. Okay, I like the look and feel. I can see that you've, for the most part, been selecting t-shirts as your default view, which I think sometimes when you do that makes a shop look more like a proper shop. Got wires under my chair. I've been doing, since Redbubble have been doing that optimized for, let the algorithm optimize for you. I've been doing that. My shop seems to look just messy because for the most part I used to select t-shirts, but now it's just like, you know, random comforter, shower curtain, mask. And I know it's recommended for a reason, because I guess if you've been selling more masks of a certain design, Redbubble will show that design more often on a mask. So I get it. Except when I've designed specifically for a thing, I'll always leave it as Redbubble recommended. But I like the look of a shop that has, you know, just one thing. I like it. I like the colors. These retro colors seem to bring the whole shop together. My only issue is whether you've done enough to be able to compete in that niche. We've got date of birth years, which is a hard niche to get into because it's been done to death. So whether you've done enough at the right time to be able to compete would be interesting to know. You're hitting a lot of different niches. We've got gardening, we've got dog lovers, fishing, skater, Halloween. We've got the birthday present collection. Yeah, we've got a lot of different niches, which, like I say, is not a bad thing, guys. If that's the route you want to go, you go for it. Putting all your different niches in different collection, go for it. I'd be interested to see your numbers, just to see if, are you getting eyes on your work? That should be your first question. Am I getting views? Are you doing enough to promote or optimize your work to actually get eyes on it? And if you're not, that's where because you can make thousands of designs. If nobody's seeing them, you've got no chance at sales. So the main job constantly should be to get more eyes on your work. So how do you do that? You can rank in search, you can rank on Google, or you can start making sales. But to get sales, you've got to be able to rank in the first place. Or you can try kind of define a sub niche or a niche and rule everything or most of that niche, so your stuff is always seen first, and then getting those few sales and getting the ball rolling. So it's getting eyes on your work. So I'll be interested to see your analytics side, to see how many people you're actually getting to view in, because again, I feel like this kind of design, I've seen it so many times, the same concept. So have you done enough within this concept to have your design show over other people's designs that have already sold and will be shown first? So that'll be interesting to see, but without that info, I don't know. But actually, as designs, I think everything looks pretty cool. I think everything looks sweet. Your use of color is really good. I'm a sucker for light stuff on black shirts. I love it. I think it looks great. Black shirts sell more, so I can see what you're doing there. So that's a really good course of action to take. So I've got nothing bad to say about your actual designs. It's just whether you can compete with what's already out there that I would question. I did follow you, Adam, didn't I? I did. Rightio. We're getting through these guys. We're getting through them. Slightly slower than I thought, but you know. Adam is done. How's everyone doing? I hope I'm not boring you. I'm hoping if I'm not speaking about your shop, you're still finding, you know, tips that are relevant to you. I hope I'm not repeating myself too much, but some of the advice I have to give is pretty similar. I hope I'm not just saying the same things over and over again. See you later, Sanisa. It was lovely you being here. Thank you for coming, guys. Anybody who's dropping in or coming in for the first time, it's lovely to see all of you. Thank you for being here. No problem, Adam. I hope that was helpful. I really do. Right, trending teas. Trending. hyphen tees. Okay. Ooh, nothing's coming up for trending tees. Let's get rid of the hyphen. No, I'm not getting anything. I'm gonna move on very quickly. Mummalede. Oh, Mummalede. Okay, I love your banner. Look at this banner, guys. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. That's awesome. And I love the fact that that little semicircle kind of encompasses your avatar. That's an awesome look. That's an awesome banner, guys. Okay, so we've got 112 designs. Okay. So we've got a mix of, I love these kind of adaptation of the original is it We Can illustration? Those are awesome. Love them. Okay, so we've got some patterns. Loads of these. That's an old vintage poster, which is pretty awesome. That cat rules. I love it. Okay, I would be... The only thing I'm uncertain of is the artists like Kandinsky here, Franz Marc here. It's similar to this poster. So as you know, when it comes to copyright, if the creator of a work, no matter what it is, has been dead for 100 years, that work becomes copyright free because nobody, the rights to that work is not owned by anyone anymore. That's why you can go on. There's a website called, I used to use it all the time for university. I can't remember the name. Something Books. I know that doesn't help anyone. But it's all books that are over 100 years old that you can download and read for free because obviously the authors have died over 100 years ago and they become public domain. I'm not sure how it works with art because it's kind of like classical music. So if you listen to Beethoven and Mozart, that is copyright-free music. But you are listening to a recording that an orchestra has made now of something that is public domain. So the orchestra or whoever put that together then owns the copyright for that recording. So you using it is infringing on copyright because it's someone else's recording. Does that make sense? So in the same way, a photo taken of a famous painting, you're infringing on the copyright not of the painter but of the photographer. So it's copyright law is very strange, guys. So I would be very careful when using prints or photos of famous artists' work. I know this poster is less so because it's not necessarily a picture, a photo of the poster. It's the poster itself, if that makes sense. So just be careful because things that, yes, are in public domain, you've got to think about how they came to be in your hands. Did someone take a photo of it, which means they own the rights, etc. All that funny stuff. So there's a lot of old vintage posters and art which fall under this category that you're doing. So listen, guys, I'm not a copyright lawyer. This is just my advice to you. Maybe look into it a little bit deeper. Maybe you have already and it's all okay. But just be aware of that. But I love the whole style. I do. The colors all kind of, it feels really browns and reds, really cozy, kind of earthy colors. The shop looks great, how it's laid out. I like it, but as I said, just look into seeing whether the artist's work that you're using is okay to use and sell as you're doing it. Okay. Let's take off Mama Lead. Boom, we're getting through. Oh, they say you're beautiful, boy. They say you're beautiful. Did you hear that? I think he might want his Bickies Seabucks, that's all. That's all. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. You want your big boy? These cats eat like 4 times a day, I swear. Okay, let's move on to Joji Co. No, 2 eyes. Joji Co. Oh, nothing matches your search. Okay, let's try 1 eye. Nope. Let's try no space. Nope. 2 eyes, no space. Nope. We'll have to move on from Joji. Apologies. Awua tease. Awua tease. Aha! We got you, Awua. Awua. Okay, let's my mum thinks I'm very smart, but am not. That's a interesting username. I'll call you my mum for short. Hello, lovely to see you. He is, Lydia. He's the cutest cat, and I don't say that lightly. I see cute cats, but they're not as cute as Django. He's the cutest little thing. Crazy ass cat. He is bloody crazy though. Okay. Oh, let's switch you guys over to here. Awesome. I love it. I've done something similar in my shop in that I've got little boxes full of designs. I kind of want to rework it. I think I can do a better job, but I've had it for like 1.5 years and I think it works really well, especially to put some of your most popular designs up in your banner. At a quick glance, it shows who you are, and you don't have the problem of your banner not matching your store because you literally use items from your store, so it all fits in really, really well. So it's a consideration to do it like that. So we've got 84 designs. Love the colors already. So we've got nature, digital art, animals, ocean, floral. Okay, so we're hitting a few different niches, which is fine. I would say when you're below 100 anywhere, unless you have like a kick-ass business plan and art style and you know exactly what you're doing, most shops should look pretty mixed. So we got some photography. Awesome. You see, we're going right to the edge of every single product, well optimized, no matter what it is. That's great. That's what you want to see. We've got some text designs, politics, some Christmas stuff, feminist stuff. I think kind of sarcastic puns about how crappy 2020 has been for Christmas sales are going to do really well. I'm just not very clever. I don't have a funny brain. You know, some people can think up really cool play on words and puns and stuff. I can't do that. I find it really hard. Some people, you see really simple designs that have a really, really clever wordplay on them and you think, how did I not think of that? That's so awesome. And I think kind of commenting about how crappy 2020 has been through designs is going to be the way to go for Christmas. Everyone wants to see the back end of 2020, I'm sure. So we've got some, I like it. See, this is a simple text design that's just that little bit different. So we've got enough, cute, energetic, tenacious, robust. I love it. You know, that's so much better than something like this. Even though these will work in certain situations, this is just brings something different. So we've got, the only thing I would say about this store is the art styles are quite different. So we've got some kind of classic digital illustration here, and then we've got some obviously text designs, all different styles. So it kind of, like I say, I'll give you a big free pass because you're very early on. But try and think of a way to kind of bring your shop together a little bit more, whether it's all kind of, I don't know. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Ignore what I just said. You're early in your shop journey. Try different things, see what works. But think about in the future, okay, well, if I do want to continue this for the long haul, what am I going to concentrate on? How do I make my shop look more cohesive, more like a branded store? Whether that's focusing down on niches or bringing everything together with a certain type of art style, because everything looks like a different designer has created it. It's all so different in terms of style. But let's have a look at see, my first Christmas without hugs. You know, it's tongue-in-cheek about how crappy lockdown has been for everyone. We still don't know what kind of Christmas we're going to have, but it's something that resonates with people. So that kind of thing I think is going to do really well over Christmas. It's just about making sure people actually find it. So let's have a look. More in the description. Like I've said before, get more in there, be more descriptive. We want to make sure that this is ranking in Google search as well. So comment more about the lockdown, you know, why aren't people getting hugs? Comment on the lockdown, that kind of stuff in the description to just get eyes on it. We want to get, you might design some awesome stuff for Christmas, but we need to make sure people can actually find our stuff. Nice work on the tags. A lot of them are very generic, which I guess I get. There's nothing much else you can say about this, but think about how else to differentiate you amongst the competition. Let me just make sure I followed you. Follow. OBS keeps disconnecting, and now it said it was disconnected. It says reconnected now. Okay. We're back, guys. Do you know what? I have no idea what's going on with my stream. OBS says everything's fine. YouTube says everything's fine, but every now and then I get a little alert saying OBS is disconnected. So I hope we're all okay, guys. Okay. I think we're good. Awesome. We're back. Okay. Can you stop? My cat keeps barging into this bloody room. Okay, so what I was saying, just in case it didn't, just really quickly, is designs like this, you've got to remember that most people are looking at Redbubble on their phone. So this is going to be very small, and it's very hard to distinguish the text against a changing background. So we've got the blues and the greens. If this was just solid blue or solid green, you could probably see the text a little better, but because it is different, that would work better at a higher contrast, whether it be maybe white or if the black was a little thicker. So think about stuff like that and how the design will actually look on a person's screen. Here we've got a similar thing. I can't really tell what that says. When was the last time for the first time? I'm not sure. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me unless there's more text I'm missing. So just make sure that at the smallest resolution, oh, here we go. You did something for the first time. Now it makes sense. So you want to make sure, hey, my cat. You want to make sure that your text is legible at a smaller size, because people are very impatient. If they, hey, stop it. My cat's going crazy. People are impatient. If they can't make out at a quick glance what your design says, they will scroll past. Okay, so we're early days. I would say keep on going, Joji. It is Joji. Yeah, keep on going, Joji. You've already got 10 followers. That's pretty good for a very, very small store. Make sure your text is legible, especially at small resolutions on people's screens. And keep going. I like your nature theme. I think that's the overbearing niche I can see. So it looks like you know what you're doing. Just keep going. You've got a banner. I would say maybe make this text a little smaller, so it's maybe like here, and then you've got some nice negative space around, but that's just me being pedantic. But keep going. You're still very, very early days. Okay. Oh, we've done Joji, so I don't. Oh, we did Awu as well. So let's. Okay, guys. I think we're now at 10, so we've been live for 2 hours. I say, and in 2 hours I've done, say 10. Let's get these done, and then I think we'll call it there. I'm so sorry if I couldn't get around to everybody else who's shared their store, but I really wanted to make sure, because some people were in the chat last week, the whole stream, asking me to do their stores, and I just couldn't get around to everyone. So I wanted to be fair and make sure that I got them. So I don't know if we'll have time to look at anybody else's stores. Maybe a couple more. I do have a list of some of the first that requested, so I do apologize. Let's keep going with these. I don't want to constantly be playing catch up. Like, I don't want to say, okay, next week's stream I'll get to everybody I didn't see this week. I think a lot of what I've been saying with regards to people's stores, a lot of you guys can probably take on board as well. So I would say listen to what I'm saying with other people's stores, and if it's something relevant to you, you can implement it in your own shops as well. And remember, find me on Redbubble. I'm Rogue Pixels with a Z at the end, one word. Drop me a bubble mail and I'll be happy to review shops when I have time through Redbubble itself. You can follow me on Instagram, Rogue Pixel Studios. Again, people have been dropping me my shops since I've been doing Redbubble content, and I always try and get back in touch with them. So if I can't get to you on stream, there are other ways to get in touch with me that I can review your shops, and I'd be happy to. Sound is too low. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I might be mumbling. Is that better? Fraternal House, we started at 8. So we've been going for a couple of hours now, and I think we've probably got another 45 minutes to an hour to go. And then we'll sign off for the night. But thank you for coming. I do appreciate everybody who's come and everyone who's still here. You guys are superstars. Okay, we're going to move on, guys, to June Nostalgia. I think I might have looked at her store already. last week, but let me just have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, let me share this with you guys. Okay, so we have 96 designs. Not sure when you started, June, but the amount of designs is not always indicative of the time that they started. But straight away, I'm seeing lots of pastel colors. I'm seeing a lot of classic illustration, which I love, and I think works really, really well and does really, really well on Redbubble as well. Some patterns. I love these colors. See how they all kind of, even though they're all different designs, how the color brings everything together? This is exactly what I mean. They're all kind of earthy pastel colors. Some, you know, not, but for the most part, we've got some really, really nice work with color that brings things together. We've got sticker packs. These, if you're not doing sticker packs, guys, I did make a recent video about sticker packs because it's something I kind of ignored for the longest time. But you've got to realize that the vast majority of the sales on Redbubble are stickers. And a lot of people recommend that you mark up your stickers to, I mean, some people go up as high as 300%. I think I've marked mine up probably 150%. And sometimes sticker pack can justify that increased markup. And believe me, you don't see fewer sales with the higher price. I think people are willing to spend a certain amount on Redbubble on stickers, especially if they really like the stickers. So doing a sticker pack every so often is a good idea. So we've got, I'm seeing a lot of nature-based plant designs. Oh, here we go. So we've got cottage core. I love it. Is that a niche? It makes sense. I kind of get it just by looking at that. Django. He keeps just barging into my office like he owns the place. We've got a few little garden animals as well. Plants, patterns. I get it. I think it's a nice looking shop. The question would be is, as always, are we getting eyes on these designs? And awesome, we've got a featured collection. So remember, use your featured collections on stuff you're trying to push now. Either use it as a place to promote your best-selling work, or we're coming up to Christmas, use it to promote your seasonal designs, which it's the first thing people are going to see if they go onto your shop. So I would say, especially in the run up to Christmas, make better use or make use of your featured collection space. Let's find... It's funny. We had a... Sorry, random story from my childhood. I'm from South Africa, and we used to have this plant in our garden, and my mum used to always call it the delicious monster. And I guess its real name is Monstera deliciosa. I always thought that was my mum's nickname for the plant, the delicious monster, but apparently it's its proper name. But that's the thing, guys. So many people do kind of pot plants. I've done a few pot plants designs or house plants, and I'll just say, you know, potted plants or a cactus or whatever, but actually putting the genus name, there we go. We're hitting a very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Underserved keyword, I guess. A keyword that not everybody is going to use, but people who love delicious monsters will probably use to search for. So let's have a look. Add some more. As I've been saying to everybody else, guys, the repeating thing I've been saying, make sure you write good descriptions. I'm sorry if you've heard this before, but I know people are dropping in and out. Your description is what ranks you in Google search external to Redbubble. So if you're trying to hit a niche that is maybe big in Redbubble and you know you're coming in page 10 of the search results, a good description can put you really high in Google search results. So make sure you're writing a good description. Write your description as if you're explaining your design for someone who can't see it. Explain the colors, the art style, what it is, all that kind of stuff. Try and get as many keyword into natural sentences. About 2 to 3 should do it in your description. Okay. Okay, we're hitting some good keywords there. I would say add more, but if there's no more relevant keywords, don't. Just stick to at least 15 to 25 relevant. If you're going into the realms of you're not really doing relevant keywords anymore, it can actually end up hurting you in the algorithm. So stick to relevant keywords. And look, I've just spotted, this is not the same designer, but isn't this an awesome design? Look at this. The colors, the illustration, that looks absolutely fab. Anyway, moving on. But I love your style, June. I love your colors. I think you're on the right track. I love the fact that you've got a few niches you're concentrating on in the beginning. I wish you all the best of luck because I think this kind of style, there is a massive market for it. I wouldn't like to even assume I know how to tag for this type of art. But I'm sure you know a little bit more than me. I didn't even know cottagecore was a genre, so good on you. I think you know what you're doing. Everything is well optimized. I think your shop looks great. I really, really do. Is that yours, Sarah? 3 months. I'm so glad you're here. I love your shop. I think it's awesome. I really, really do. And I think you're well on your way, on the right track. You've got to have this kind of brand so early in your Redbubble journey says a lot as well. I'm so glad you're here. Nice. Okay. Oh, let me just give you a follow. 38 followers. That's pretty sweet as well. Considering I've been on Redbubble 2 years and I've got probably about 90 something followers, I really don't have a lot at all. That's really good that people are actually coming across your store and following you. No problem. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help. But yeah, you just keep doing you. I think you're well on your way. Right, so we've done Samasa because, as Maria pointed out, I have him on my list twice. So we're going to tick him off again. And let's go to BB Future. BB. Actually, before we do anything, guys, I must pop to the loo. So I'm just going to pop you on the waiting screen and I'll be back very, very soon. We're back, guys. Thank you, Maria, again. You're a star. Hope you're well. And hopefully see you again soon. All right, guys, we're getting there. Did we do? No, we didn't do BB Future. Okay. So some fresh meat, guys. October 2020, 35 designs. Woohoo! Live in the moment. Nice, got a banner already. Let's have a quick look and see how things are looking. Okay, now as much as I love bright color, one thing you have to be careful about is not having too much. Or, for example, this rose, I like it, but wouldn't that look better if you had a muted kind of dark gray background with the rose itself being red? So it's kind of understated, but then you've got some like a bright accent on that design. This works well. Here we're kind of losing the detail of the roses through the background because there's not enough contrast. So when you're using bright colors, it's important to use them correctly, or use them as a statement as opposed to the overall design. Because if you're using them as the overall design, you're kind of losing. It gets kind of garish. Only a certain much smaller audience would go for a bright phone case like this. Or you can trial it out. You can try maybe do one version with the red, and then another version, like I said, with the gray and the red flower, the red rose on it. Give your audience some options. But color, as much as I love bright color, I know not everybody else does. So I try to pull my use of color back a little bit, or like I say, use color as an accent. So that was my first thought when I saw this kind of thing. I mean, if this blue was instead a lighter gray, slightly lighter than this dark gray or black here, it would make the heart stand out that little bit more. This is different. That's an art style in itself, and I think that works as a pop art design because we've got the green and the blue, but the contrast is good enough that it works well together. Contrast doesn't work as well in a design like this. So just think about your use of color. There's so many different YouTube videos on color theory, and I would recommend everybody that creates any kind of design, whether it's the simplest text design for print on demand to whether you're a UX UI designer, color theory is your friend. And I think learning color is an ongoing thing. There's so many nuances with working with color, and I would say as a beginner, use color minimally until you understand more about how color works together, especially on print, what colors work best with each other, how to bring definition and accents to your designs just using color. So I would suggest everybody researches color theory a little more and get yourself up to date with how to use color and how best to use color with other color. Okay, there was something else I wanted to mention, and it's completely fallen out my brain because I started talking about color too much. Aha! So here we go. We've got a sticker pack. Just make sure that, it might be intentional that these two are together because basically they're going to come as one sticker. So you'll have two stickers with two hearts in each. That might be intentional, but I would say make sure that these hearts are further apart so that they all become individual stickers, if that was indeed your intention. But you're very early days. I see the direction you're going. I like it. I like the fact that you're going bright. Like I say, just better use of color will be better. Beware again of these kinds of stickers because the client will receive them as 3 separate stickers and they will have to manually then go align these correctly. Generally you want your stickers, unless they're a pack, to be 1 sticker as opposed to 3 individual stickers like this. I hope that helps. Bibby Future. Have I followed you? There we go. But your early days, you are early days. You just keep going. Right, I think, guys, we've probably got another 20 minutes. Let's get these 3 shops done. Huge doodles, I hope you're still with us. You're coming up, don't you worry. And then I will answer any additional questions you have for the last kind of 10 minutes or so. But I realize it's getting late for most of us in Europe anyway. We're getting a bit on in the evening now. At least it's not like last week when we're still going after midnight, right? Rightio. Joe, 5002. 5002. Delicious design. Okay. She's still here. I'm glad you are, Maria. We're getting there. We're getting there. Don't you worry. Okay. I love the backpacks right away. I love that. Okay, so we've promoting the Christmas sale. Nice. I like it. So another one. Look at you guys. You guys are on the ball. September 2020 and 309 designs. My word. You guys make me feel like I've hardly been doing anything for the last couple of years. I swear. I love the fact. I mean, this looks great. The fact that they're all on the same product. You're trying to push backpacks. You've optimized them pretty well, I must say. They're a bit tricky backpacks. Especially that because, yeah, you've made sure that that appears as it should on the pocket. I love it. You've optimized those brilliantly, and I understand why you are trying to promote those. Remember, guys, I mean, some people use their shops. You know, a lot of people try and sell t-shirts and stickers, but trying to go for the big ticket items, remember, you need fewer sales. Like selling say a comforter. I don't even know what the client, well, the buyer is probably paying about 100 quid for a comforter, and then I don't know the correct figures, but say 20 to 30 quid profit on one comforter. You know, someone else would have to sell, 10 shirts to make the same amount of profit. So there's nothing stopping you guys focusing on your higher ticket items and pushing those a little bit more, especially if you have designs that look really, really good on those items, and then you have to get fewer sales to make decent profits. So it's something you can definitely consider as a route your store can take. Okay, let's have a look. So, okay. We've got a mix. We've got lots of Christmas stuff. We've got some tech stuff. Oh, just really quickly again, this, like the last shop we saw, make sure this is nice and connected as one sticker as opposed to having this and this. An easy way, because it's going into a circular shape anyway, is create a white circle, put it behind that whole design, and it'll be all a nice circular sticker in one, as opposed to these different bits cut out, and yeah, your customer then having two separate stickers to kind of assemble. So make sure you're optimizing your stickers a little better. Same here. It kind of connects there, so that's okay, but it could look better. It could be better optimized for sure. Okay, so we have a very wide variety. Again, here with the stickers, we have a mix. So, which I'm not going to beat you down for. like I've said before, when you're starting out, you need to see where you fit in, where your unique style, where you can compete. And sometimes you need to do that through sheer volume and choice and different, you need to try different things and see what works for you, because things are going to work differently for different people. So I would say, you know, being really, really new to Redbubble, you're still trying to figure out what works for you and what you can kind of capitalize on. So I would say base your plans for your shop on what you sell, especially over Christmas. See what sells over Christmas. If you're finding, you know, a lot of your, say, photography is selling, you know, you're onto, you know, some kind of potential, and then work with that and make more of that thing. So again, I'm not gonna berate you at all. I think 309 designs, you're doing well. You just need to see what you need to focus on in the future, because remember, and I think what everybody forgets, is print on demand. Yes, it can be, you can get quick sales, you can be super lucky and get a trending design after being on the site for a week, but generally we're all in here for the long haul. We all need to have plans for our shop and direction for our shop. And the only way we know the direction we want to take is we base it on the sales we've already made. So once we start making sales and we find that little underserved niche and we start making more and more stuff for it, and we start making a name for ourselves and getting more sales, then we can kind of direct our shop into the direction we need to go to capitalize on that. So remember that the beginning is all about trial and error, and then but make sure your sales mean something. Learn something about what is selling, what people are actually viewing, and build your plans for your shop. Long-term plans. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is, we all should be in it for the long haul and be prepared to work and continue working on our shops. Old Hag is back. There she is. I could really do with a cup of tea. I'm nearly finished my beer, IPA from Lidl, and I think when we're done here, a nice cup of tea. There we go. So $30 profit on a throw blanket. I sold a throw blanket as well. No, was it a comforter? Is that the same thing? A couple of days ago, but I'm sure my profit wasn't that high. But I remember a while ago bringing my profit margin on my high ticket items down a little bit, so I make less profit, because I thought maybe I was just experimenting with prices. So I think my commission on that, now that I think about it, was probably about 8 to 10. I need to double check that. If so, I need to up my margins again. Delicious designs, how to find on Redbubble. It wasn't actually down as delicious. I searched. Let's go back to our main chat. It was, if you search Joe 5002, I came up with delicious designs. Didn't work for Joji when I did the same thing though. I think Maria had to actually give them that real shop name for it to come up. But yeah, Joe 5002, and you'll get to delicious designs. 2 more, guys. Next one, Choose Love Co. Choose Love Co. Oh, I love that banner. That makes a statement. That makes a statement indeed. Well, you know, I've got a soft spot for Grim Reapers, so I love that. That's amazing. Oh, is anybody Terry Pratchett fans in the house? That was the inspiration for my... That Grim Reaper was never meant to be my logo. I just made it, and then I kind of liked how he looked, and I started kind of just using it as a placeholder until I made a proper logo. And then the more he was there, the more I loved him. So I followed you, Yusuf. I definitely did. Old hag, you are? Nice. I think Death and the Witches are my favorite characters. So, yeah. I didn't give him his sparkly blue eyes, but yeah. That's why I love him. I'm chuffed. Yeah, I do love Terry Pratchett. Although I'm not looking forward to this weird BBC America adaptation of The Watch, that's for damn sure. But we won't get onto that. So, choose Love Co. Love the banner. Okay. See, I like these. They're simple text designs. They're all different, but the colors kind of bring it all together. So you can tell the same person has designed it with intention. As much as I love these, and I do, it's gonna be hard to market because there's so many, not just cute doodle arts of cats, but this kawaii style. If you had come into Redbubble when it first started, these would sell like hotcakes, but trying to compete, as much as I see these cat designs, and like I said before, and I want to make more cat stuff. Although Maria did say earlier, yes, you can cross niches, and that's fair enough. There are ways to compete, but it's going to be hard. I mean, this is so. I mean, he's going to get a little like. I've been forgetting to like people's stuff. I'm so sorry, but that's he's so cute. He's got a cat on his head. Yes. Yes. I love it. I love the styles. I do. Again, with the Shut Up Man, you know, I've seen a few designs come up, but they haven't just been text. There's been more to them that have made them stand out that little bit more. So making just a plain text, "Will you shut up, man?" I don't know if that'll stand out as much as the stuff that's already out there and already selling. But I get it. I mean, if you see trends and you can jump on them, do it, because it's always worth it. But always think about how you're going to compete in that trend that's happening. I love the style. You've optimized these stickers great. I can see you're pushing stickers and masks, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the whole shop looks really cohesive. Your early days, keep going. As I've said before, see what sells and base your future plans on what those sales are. Let's have a look. Again, get some more, describe your art. I mean, this is kind of classic. It looks very reminiscent of pen and ink, almost like a tattoo aesthetic. Pop that in there. What are we looking at? It's classic illustration, tattoo aesthetic. Describe in as many words as you can in natural sentences in your description. Please, guys, go and check your descriptions. I know that's hard for those of you who have thousands of designs which you've seen, but don't sell yourself short. Make sure you can rank in Google search. Get those descriptions updated. There's a few very, very popular generic keywords here. See if we can, again, use the art style as a reference, use the colors, and have those in your keywords as well. Always think of how you can differentiate your design, whether it's through the color, through your description, through your keywords, as opposed to being generic and hoping someone will see it and buy it. Always look to differentiate. That's the main advice. I know there's a lot of stuff I've given you that I said that's the main advice, but you know what I mean. Oh, old hag, I've done that too, believe me. I constantly laugh out loud to Terry. It's hard not to. It really, really is. I agree, Bugs. If, like I said, if you get that compulsion to buy in someone, they're not going to look at the price. If they see something that ticks all the boxes for them, yes, they might have a budget, they might think about it a little, but if they already know that they need that thing, you know, sometimes I'll look at it and be like, okay, I'll spend an extra £10 on that thing because I really like it, as opposed to the one that's cheaper that I'm a bit meh about. So I totally agree, and it goes back to my point in making sure there is that compulsion. You're creating that compulsion to buy. And it's not about tricking people. It's about making something that's so cool that someone can't resist. That's the point. Oh, Rincewind. Yeah. Bless him. I just want to cuddle him, though. But yeah, Granny Weatherwax. Yeah. I would like to say she's my favorite after death, but Nanny Og is right there with her. That's exactly the point. Babicha. I love it. No subscribers. Well, hello. You're coming in at the tail end of the stream, but I'm glad you're here. How can you optimize the view from the shop? I don't see a button. How do you mean, Maria? I know if you're going to manage your portfolio, you have to pick your default view. So if you want all your shop items to be t-shirts, you'll have to go edit your actual listing, go down to the bottom and select what you would like the default view to be. If you leave it at recommended, optimized, then Redbubble will pick the most relevant thing. But you have to go into each of your designs. There's no quick way to do it. Nice. More Terry Pratchett fans. I love it. Well, with a name like Old Hag, I can totally believe you, Old Hag. I totally believe you. Okay. So yeah, if I go into my manage portfolio and let's say I go to edit, then I go right to the bottom. And then here I've got my default as t-shirt here, which is just the standard t-shirt. But yeah, lately Redbubble have been saying you really should be using optimized, because then it would show your product it'll show your design on the product that it's sold most of, or it's been viewed most of, because they kind of think that that's what people want. But sometimes you've designed something specifically for a t-shirt, you want to only see it on a t-shirt. So that's how you do that. Right, I think we're finally on Huge Doodles. Oh, that name cracks me up. Huge Doodles. I hope you're still here, Huge Doodles. Is it Maria? It's Maria, isn't it? Yes, it's Maria. Huge Doodles. You're not coming up, Maria. Is that the correct on screen? Is that how it's spelled? Is it one word, maybe? Ah, I've got you. Uruguay. I'm guessing that's you. I will, I think as soon as this stream is finished, it'll be available to view as a video on my channel. Someone did mention that couldn't make my old stream, that, you know, they weren't sure whether they could get through like a 3.5 hour video, and I totally understand, and whether I would maybe put like some short snippets together from the streams in form of a video, and I would be happy to do it, but I realized it would take me a long time to like trawl through 4 hours worth of footage to try and make a video. So I would like to think I'm going to do that, but no promises. For now, it's just the streams, but yes, they are available to view. Okay, so I've got you huge doodles. Let's go back to, where are we? Screen capture. There we go. I like it because as minimal as it is, it matches really, really well. So as much as I love my bright colors and neon and, you know, that works. And here we go. Your color palette is fantastic because again, we've got these kind of natural browns, tans, grays, very earthy autumn kind of color palette, and your branding matches your designs really, really well. So we've got 23, so early days. And I see why you called doodles, because I'm presuming these are all... Let's have a look a little closer. That is awesome. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to tell me how you do your patterns, making seamless patterns. I've tried in Illustrator to make seamless patterns, but it always looks slightly off. I can never quite get it that it kind of aligns right. You can always tell where the seam is, but you've done that brilliantly. I love it. My only problem, I can't remember whose shop we looked at earlier tonight, was proper ways to market and get eyes on pattern designs. It's one of those things that sell really well on Redbubble, but it's really hard to get seen. I'd love to make more patterns, but the one thing that's holding me back is I just don't know how to tag them properly. I don't know how to get more people to actually see them in the first place. But let's have a look, because we've got some, they look like, yeah, cauldron and little witchy book with a star. That's awesome. That is a highly sellable comforter. Just as that, as a comforter, that works so well. Subtle Halloween pattern, witchy whimsical design from this. You're hitting everything you should be. You're getting your keywords in there. You're getting your colors in there. You're telling I think you got your art style. That works. That works really well as a description. But get some more tags in there. Definitely get some more tags in there. I would get doodle art, illustration, pen and ink. Describe as much about the art style and aesthetic as you can in your keywords, because this is a kind of design, yes, you made it for Halloween, but it's definitely not just for Halloween. That's an evergreen design that you can market all through the year. So try and get more keywords not specifically related to Halloween stuff in there. So your art style, colors, again, they're very distinctive, very simple. It's kind of a gold and emerald green. Get those in there. Get some more tags, definitely. I think those, yeah, we need to give that some love. That's really awesome. Let's have a look at some others. So one suggestion, what I normally do with my tote bags is, because we're losing, the contrast is there's not enough to really see those stars and the moon. I can only just vaguely see it zoomed in. For tote bags, I would say try and not have a background at all. So sometimes I need to recolor stuff, because if I've made like a white design that's meant to be on a darker background, I do like a black version for totes. So I always tend to completely remove my background and just have the illustrations directly on there. And I think you would see it so much better, because from afar that just looks like a big black square, and we don't want that because there's some really subtle, cool designs in there. So sometimes you do have to do just a separate version for your tote bags, but these patterns are absolutely awesome. I love your style. Everything's really, really subtle, understated, muted colors, and these are the kind of colors that nobody can not love. They're not kind of offensive colors that, you know, someone might love your design, but because it's pink they're just not gonna buy it. These are warm, cozy, perfect for winter. I think your challenge is going to be, like I said, getting people's eyes on your work. So to do that, make sure you're on the ball with your tags and your descriptions. And I would, if you haven't already, make sure you've got a separate Instagram. And I should have been saying this to everyone, but it's especially relevant to you, Maria, because you've got a very distinctive style and you've got a very distinctive niche that all seem to mesh very well. So I think an Instagram for you would be great, because you could promote your stuff in a very natural way that didn't, like, for a general store, it's harder to have an Instagram that will work for you, because a general store has generally loads of different niches, and Instagram works better if you've got one niche or a few that cross over very well. So for you, I think you could promote your work really, really well. Have a look at how you can promote your work through Pinterest as well. Pin your stuff, make some cool mock-ups, get them on Pinterest as well, because I think you've got a little bit more work because it's patterns. But I think once you get eyes on your work, you're bound to make sales, because a lot of this stuff, I mean, this is awesome. Your use of color, it's really, really subtle, but it does make a statement. That's just really, really cool. That's really, I love it. I love your stuff. I don't know if I followed you already. But it's all about getting eyes on your work. Awesome. Oh, you have, I'm going to follow you. I will definitely follow you on Instagram for sure. Right, guys, let me just switch over to here so we can tick off. Bless her, she's been waiting last stream and all of this stream as well. We finally got to her, and it was a nice way to end. I hope that helped, guys, and I hope, regardless of whose shop I was looking at, I hope at least some of the advice was useful. And but yeah, one of the main things was descriptions. Make sure you're writing your descriptions. What was the other thing? If you're starting out and your shop still looks a bit rough and still all over the place, don't worry. Find what works for you and build from there. It's all about growing and learning, and yeah. But remember, through it all, you're never going to make a sale if people can't see your designs, and they're never going to see your designs if you're not actively promoting, you're not tagging correctly, you're not writing good descriptions. You have to make sure at every possible opportunity you can put your design in front of someone, because remember, even getting that design in front of someone cannot guarantee a sale. They're going to have that compulsion to buy. And like with me, when I looked at my views to sales ratio, mine is pretty consistently 10%. So for every 10 views I get one sale. And it was weird. It was very consistent over this year that was the case. So once you find out what your ratio is, the key is to get that, to bump it up. So get a higher percentage of sales per views, but you've got to get, the views have to come first. You've got to get people in front of your designs first. Right here, guys, let's give it another, we've had a few chats been going a little bit crazy for the last 5 minutes, so I'm just going to play catch up. And I think we'll finish in about 10 minutes. So if you want to ask any questions, I'm still not sure how we're going to go about doing these in the future, whether we do shop reviews every week or whether we change it up a bit and maybe next week we do specific design reviews. I don't know. I'm still playing around with this whole streaming thing, so I'm not sure yet. But I'm happy to keep streaming. I'm happy. We just have to figure out how best to continue. Because we don't want to do shop reviews every week. We want to change it up a bit. So Photoshop is best for seamless patterns, is it? Because I design most myself in Illustrator. Most of the time, well, some of the time I start in Photoshop, but I always end up finishing up in Illustrator. So you do all of I thought you can tell that you do all of your own art because it all, even though they're slightly different, it all looks part of the same shop, which is really awesome. I love your style. Oh, really? So it's adding that weird black background on the tote bags. That is really odd. I wonder why. Thanks, Freddie. Yes. I'm not sure if we'll do one next week or whether we'll give it a skip for the week, but I need to, I need to have a sit down and think how best we can go forward. What's easy to maintain. I don't know if I could keep up doing a stream every Friday. I just wanted to do back-to-back ones because obviously I didn't finish up what I wanted to do, well, the shops that were shared last week. So maybe every second week, a stream. Like I said, guys, those of you who shared shops tonight, I did explain in the beginning I probably wouldn't get around to seeing those, but there's nothing stopping you, absolutely nothing stopping you, sending me a bubble mail on Redbubble, username Rogue Pixels with a Z at the end, one word. Send me your links, and I'll get round to giving you some kind of advice and feedback. If not, you can go on my Instagram, which is Rogue Pixels Studios, all one word. Send me a DM on there and give me your shops to review. I'd be happy to do that. What do I have to do for a review of my shop? Hopefully that answered your question, ASR. If we do stream next Friday, guys, no promises. I might skip a week. We might do every second week. But if I do stream next Friday, I think we'll start at the same time, 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock was a little late, especially if we ran a bit over. But I can't do any earlier than 8. It just allows me time to finish up from work, get myself sorted, get myself fed, sort the cats out, and then set up the stream. So 8 o'clock is the earliest I can start, and it works best for me on in the evenings because my days are pretty full up at the moment. I know, old hag. I have the same problem with greetings cards and postcards. Everything else looks perfectly optimized, and with greetings cards and postcards, I always have that blank space on either end, and it drives me up the wall. It really drives me up the wall. I wish it was a separate entity that we could kind of just give its own image to, but it's not. It's part of the family of, I think it's under posters and something else. So if you try optimize just for the greetings cards and the postcards, everything else goes out of whack. It's just a vicious cycle. I haven't quite figured it out myself. Good, I'm glad, old hag. It's just about getting that resolution right, because if it's too big, they'll throw away pixels to make it fit. And if it's too small, they'll add pixels, and that's when you get pixelation, whether it's too big or too small. So you can fiddle around sometimes for a bit. What's the max amount you've ever made in a month? Oh, that was this year. I thought I was doing really well Christmas last year, but June, was it June or July, when mask sales went crazy? I had one design. It was the simplest design. It took me 15 minutes to put together, and somehow it just hit the right niche at the right time, and it was just under 900, and that helped me out loads in June. That's my biggest month so far. On TeePublic, I think my biggest month is probably about 230 or something. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. It's a pain, and even sometimes with stickers, if I'm making a sticker pack and I want to have 4 separate items, when I'm uploading, it looks perfect, but then when I publish it and look at the mock-ups, they start touching again, and I'm like, oh, it needs to show it's correctly optimized when you're uploading and before you publish your design. But sometimes I constantly have to go check the mock-up. No, it's still touching. Go back. Yeah, it's a pain. There are a few elements within the whole Redbubble upload process that could be better, I must admit. Right, guys, we are hitting 11 p.m. So yeah, us oldies, or the ones that are getting old, this used to be early back in the day, 15 years ago. Now it's like, ooh, cup of tea and a bedtime, So I am going to love and leave you guys. Like I say, I don't know if I'm streaming next week, but I will let you know in plenty of time, and it will be 8 o'clock again. If so, if not next week, we'll definitely stream the week after. I currently have issues with designs looking like they're off center. Make sure it's correctly aligned wherever you're creating your art, because sometimes if they're slightly off, even when you press a line in Redbubble, it'll obviously still be off center because your actual original design wasn't. Other designs, they can look, because of the model and the mock-up, they can look like they're off center, but they're not. But I'd have to see an example to make sure. Yeah, I do a similar thing, Babicha. I do 7500 by 7500, and that fits everything, but then I still have a problem with the greetings cards for some reason. Must be something I'm doing wrong. I don't know. I just struggle. It always, because my artboard is a square, and greetings cards and postcards are rectangles. Then I get that, those blocks of white space on either side, regardless. Exactly. So if I'm in bed by midnight, then I can be up by 8, half 8, and have the full day of doing absolutely nothing, probably food shopping. How interesting. It's what our Saturdays generally look like, is going food shopping. Woohoo! Rightio, guys, I am going to love and leave you. I hope that was useful to you guys, and I hope you have an awesome weekend, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. And I hope this Friday the 13th in 2020 hasn't been too much of a disaster for you. You never can tell these days, can you? 1 minute to midnight. It's 1 minute to 11 for me, so we're doing okay. All right, guys. I will... Ooh, let me just make sure we're all good. There we go. I will see you guys soon, and thank you so much for being here. See you later.